Welcome to Fairy Tale Access, where the head fairy's quest is to prove that fairy tales do exist in actual time rather than once upon a time. Together, we will unravel the heroes, young and old, who turn dreams into reality. These are the people who still believe in happily ever after. The discoveries will bend even our most cynical non-believers into believing in fairy tales. Hi, welcome to Fairy Tale Access. Today, I'm really excited to introduce you to my guest, Charles Akori. And we're going to talk about the gift of water and Nigeria. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Denise, for having me.
My pleasure. So the gift of water and Nigeria, how does this all fit together? And the Thank You Project.
Yeah, it's very simple and so easy for the next person to appreciate because water is supposed to be a gift from God, natural gift.
Right? Something we need every day.
We need every day, and we take for granted too. For some time, I realized that wasn't the case in my village, and I felt that I needed to do something about it. It's a long story, really.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. You grew up in Nigeria, right?
Yep, I did.
Okay.
I grew up in Nigeria and came to this country in 1999 with my wife and my daughter.
Wow. All right, so before we get to that big move, why is it hard to get water in Nigeria? What's the problem? Is it because it's a dry country? Is water scarce? What are the problems contributing to the need for water?
Just because what you don't know, you don't miss, primarily. And I'm specifically talking about my village,
Okay,
Ututu, and my wife's village,
okay.
Achi. I didn't grow up in the village, but something that put this in my mind was because my dad used to take us to the village every Christmas to see his folks while I was growing up. And I got to experience this firsthand. See how people don't have access to clean water. They go to streams to get their water.
Do they also wash clothes and themselves in those streams? Is it hard to get clean water?
If I start talking about the condition of that water, it's depressing,
Depressing.
very depressing. I'll give you a typical scenario. This is the water flowing from a stream, and you have someone maybe a mile away doing something messy, stream, and you have someone downstream here fetching the same water. So they get infested with all kinds of diseases that are unimaginable. But they don't know what's going on, and they don't even get to boil the water because of the scarcity. There are two seasons, generally, or broadly speaking, my part in the village, the rainy season and the dry season. The rainy season, you have some of those streams that come back to life. Dry season, some of them dry out. So you might have access to a stream like a mile away during the rainy season. Dry season, you have to go an extra mile to go to a bigger stream that hasn't dried up.
Wow. And they do all of this walking.
They do all of this walking through their throats. They have to contend with snakes, scorpions. Yeah, yeah,
Wow. That sounds scary. And because young children go on that route and pick up the water, don't they?
yeah. I had a chance to traverse this with them,
Mm.
and I can't tell you how many instances you just hear a scream from someone that somebody has been bitten by a scorpion. Or a
How
snake.
dangerous is a scorpion bite? Deadly?
Very deadly.
It is
Can
deadly.
kill you.
Do they have medication for that if it happens, or?
Yeah, they have local herbs like leaves, things, with the superstition, hoping that it's going to alleviate the situation.
Wow.
Yes.
So, what are you guys doing to help these communities?
We're doing a couple of things because that's the crux of the vision and mission of Thank You Project. Because I got a very clear and vivid message that I should just start something and stop waiting until I was able to acquire the wherewithal that I needed to go and do what I plan on doing for them. Drill water boreholes, and make not just give them clean water, save them the time, the drudge, which is mostly borne by women, girls. It's a patrilineal society.
Oh, okay.
So the task is mostly borne by the women,
And the girls.
girls, the children, girls. Amongst the children, boys, they call them slack. Falls on the girls amongst the children to do the work. It affects their education.
Right, because they're spending time in the morning and at night getting water.
So if the family needs somebody to drop out of school, girl drops out first.
And that's the second point of your project.
Education. I went to school in Nigeria, and I realized that there are lots of smart kids, but they are indigent. Their parents cannot afford to send them to university. I had cousins like that, and I couldn't help them. Actually, one of the things that really made me feel terrible with my life was a day I did the math as to what it cost for me to send my last son to preschool here at St. Christopher School. And the cost was equivalent, actually, half of that will send an indigent student to medical school.
Really? Wow.
That's a fact. But I wasn't doing that. I would just train a doctor. But I was here trying to figure out the way to make millions of dollars so that I can go and do what I needed to do.
So instead, you started the Thank You Project for everything that was done for you while you were there. And you got a lot of people behind you to help make it happen. So how's it been going? Digging wells, and what else are you doing with retaining walls, and how does it all work together?
First off, we started with the scholarship program. I have a first scholarship that we awarded. She's going, a girl. Actually, initially, her dad was trying to get her married.
Oh, they were trying to get her married
Yeah,
first?
first. Until this scholarship, I called Nigeria and said, I have a scholarship that is coming from our board. and let her go to university. They thought it was a fluke.
Right.
They didn't believe it because nothing like that had ever happened.
Mm-hmm.
Then we told her to send us all her admission letters and everything. She sent it. We paid school. She went in. She studied mechanical engineering. She's going to graduate in 2 years as an engineer.
That's fantastic.
We have 2 other students coming up. They are going this academic session. One is going to medical school, and another one is going to law school.
Wow.
We are just
Also
taking-
girls? Is it always going to be for girls?
These 2, one, the medical student, is a he.
Oh, okay.
Then the law student is a girl.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to push the girls because I think the guys they've had their share of most of the good things happening in the village.
Yeah.
Now after that, we started the water project and talked to the head of the community, the Eze, that's the traditional ruler. So they wanted to build a well. Same thing. That's what happened with the student. This has never happened before. It's not possible. What did he say he wanted to do? Say, we just need you to show us a spot in the village. They gave us the village square. That's like where they congregate at the end of when they come back from their farms.
Okay.
The village. Gave it to us. We just completed our first well. They're beside themselves, beyond the miracle for them. I spoke with the Eze last week, and he told me he wanted to hug me over the phone. But I was telling him, please don't even try that because this is not about me. Absolutely. It's not about me, nothing to do with me as an individual. There's no personal aggrandizement, there's no ego trip on this. This is about giving back to humanity. I feel God has blessed me in several ways that I cannot recount. And anything I can do to pass on the blessing, because I believe that you're not just blessed for your own sake.
Right.
You're blessed so that you can serve. It's a blessing to others.
Absolutely. So how does the wall work with water? What does that do?
So what we do with the wall, we have a retaining wall. We build, first of all, we'll drill the borehole. The one we just completed, we had to go 320 feet inside the ground. That's where we find pure water, so that they wouldn't need to boil it at all.
Right.
So it's clean, break the rock, the egg, the crust, and everything. Then the water came out. Then we capped it, and because it's going to serve a lot of people, so we built a retaining wall and distributed the water into. We have at least 8 spigots, so that when they come,
Okay.
you have 8 people collecting the water at the same time. So
Must save them so much time.
it's not just time. This has a lot of consequence
So
in
what
their
are
lives. Time, their health,
Yeah.
education, everything. Everything. Their life expectancy.
what is the life expectancy before you started this?
In the village, right, that I come, one of the things that really drove it home for me was when I called Nigeria and I asked about one cousin, people that I know that are younger than I am. What about Carlo? People that I remember when I was young,
Right.
younger, going to the village with my dad, people that used to come to my house. So what about Carlo? Say he died 5 years ago. What about Nene? She died 10 years ago. What about Mbeke? She died. Some of them are younger than I am. So I'll put it at 40, it's almost old age for them.
40 is old age.
40, 45 is old age. Not just because, and realistically, I can relate to it. Because when your immune system is all broken down, it's like you've lived 80,
Right.
from all the diseases and every bacteria that has
Right.
gotten into your
Because there's
system.
some statistics that do show for young people, every 20 seconds a child
A
dies.
baby.
A baby.
A baby dies every 20 seconds. And this is something that is preventable. It's not a tall order. This is something we can do.
Hmm.
It's not going to cost anybody anything. That's how I started this. If people, you just say, we get 1 million people to donate $1 each, that's $1 million.
How much does it cost to set up that one site?
The one we completed with everything, the tank, the tar, the generator house, at about $29,000. And the way we did the math, I said, what does it cost? An average wedding, or sometimes I do designs, architecture, a small addition, a kitchen remodel, a bathroom, an upscale bathroom remodel.
Right.
It's just about that, right? And people spend that just to remodel a kitchen. We are thinking of saving
Lives.
destiny, a people. And I just said to myself, it's not a big deal. We're going to do it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
It's a great project. So do you feel like you're fulfilling what you're supposed to be doing? Living a purposeful, driven life?
Before now, like I said, I wasn't able to sleep well. Since I started this,
You feel like you're going in a better direction?
I'm not feeling like I'm going in a better direction. I'm convinced that this is what I need to do.
That's great.
At least I can attest to the fact that I haven't wasted my life.
Absolutely not. So what are some of the things that you do in the States to bring this to light? Tell me about if you visit a school or if you meet at a park and you have a walk. How do you instill in people what these people go through? That so many people are coming together to help support this.
Best part of this was the moment I opened my mouth to talk about this, you would not believe the reception I received. Starting with my pastor, friends, the mayor, I had Senator Ayod, everybody. They said, Charles, good. We are behind you. That's good. Keep going. And I tell everybody that this is very personal to me. And if I don't do this, I feel like I've wasted my life. Take, for instance, coming to this country. I never planned coming here. Just in Nigeria, got a letter, a mailbox, and I was driving home one day. And in my wife's name, we were offered a green card, go to the US, came here. Everything, I've had favors from people, ways that I could not have ever scripted. I'm trying to do something, and seriously, somebody just comes from nowhere to Charles. That's not the way it's done in this country. Let me show you what you need to do every single day. Every single day. That's my life. And when those things happen, I know that there's something else going on here. I do it and I'll say thank you to the person. I'll just say to myself, you see, you're getting so much. You have to do something. You can't just bottle this up.
Right.
I go to church and I hear the sermon. Don't hide your light under a bushel. You don't bury your talent until your master is a wicked master. I felt like that was what I was doing. Putting my light under a bushel
Mhm.
and burying my talent. I've been blessed so much. And as it goes to him, who much is given, so much is expected.
Absolutely. And when you do the walk, though, you bring people into feeling some of what you saw go over there by having them carry water on the walk. And how does that go over? What is the reaction?
Everybody's excited to do that.
And then they're tired when they're done.
Yeah. But this is what they do. Excuse me. This is what they do every single day. Kids wake up in the morning. Their first run before they even go to school. They come back from school, go. In the evening, they go again.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And the time they waste doing this, at least 2 to 3 hours, they spent going to the stream, back and forth. It's drudge. It's terrible.
It is, but you're doing so much with it. I think you're doing more than you realize. You're introducing young people to a country that they don't know a lot about. You're introducing them to a way of life and how different, their lives could be depending on where they were born. And, helping them to appreciate that and take part in helping somebody else. I mean, that's such a big feeling for so many people to be involved with.
The best part of this is the way this has been received by the kids. Like I tell my kids too, from my understanding, kids are like blank slates, just fill in the blanks.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell the kids, I've had presentation in some schools around here, and they're so eager. They go home and they tell their parents. One of the things I tell them is very simple: to appreciate the fact that life is not all about material acquisition. That life is about what you do for the next person. And they appreciate it. And if they grow with that mindset, I'm sure we'll change the headline.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing so much of your story with us. Is there anything that we missed that the audience should know besides your website?
The next thing I wanted to bring up is our project, Thank You Project, right? We have 3 areas of focus: the education,
Mhm.
water, and a place of worship that I plan on building my village to help them and enlighten them so that they'll appreciate that there's much more to life than the
Because
physical appearance of things.
absolutely. And you give them your whole organization is a Christian-based organization, isn't it?
It is. It's Christian based.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, I'm trying, and we, our board, we make a conscious effort to differentiate between what we're doing as a Christian-based organization from a religious-based organization. 2 different things.
Mm-hmm.
So that people will appreciate everybody, every human being needs water. Every human being needs to be educated. Every human being needs to appreciate supreme being, no matter what they call the being. Whether they say it's providence that helped them out, every human being should appreciate that that's much more life than the physical appearance of things.
It's true. That's a really good message.
Thank you. That is.
So this is your fourth year?
This is, yeah, that we just had our third water walk.
Okay.
Yeah, just last September.
How much water do they carry on the walk?
Oh, half a bucket. Home Depot has helped us a lot. They give us the buckets that we use to do the walk. And they just feel like half of it and they get excited about it too.
Yeah, but how far do they walk? 1 mile, 2 miles?
2 miles.
2 miles with that bucket of water?
No, a mile.
A mile?
A mile to the stream with an empty bucket and a mile back to Greeley Park.
Wow, how did they do?
Great.
Yeah, they haven't spilled a lot of it on the way.
No, they're excited. I had one parent tell me that at the end, the son was asking her, when is the next water walk? And that really made me feel good.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's so much fun. And you did it at schools too, with having them walk around the gym?
Oh, yes.
How did they think about it?
Outstanding. And actually, it was very humbling, sobering for me when I saw the kids walking. It's Second Nature Academy here in Nashua. Mm-hmm. An outstanding job. On their own, they organized, they walked, and they feel good. That at least tomorrow is going to be better.
Absolutely. Oh, I love this. It's a great story and a great project, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, Denise.
And if people want more information, where can they go?
For additional information about us and everything we do, they should just go to our website, www.thankyouproject.org. Okay. Again, www.thankyouproject.org. Okay. We are using our project to thank God for everything, all His blessings in our lives, and try to give back while we are still strong and able before we pass on. Absolutely.
And can people organize their own walks in cities?
Absolutely. We have a template that we just made up for people to organize. Just follow the script and organize a water walk. My daughter at Cornell was telling me she wanted to do one at Cornell University. I have a school that called me in Maryland. They want to do a water walk in Maryland here.
That's fantastic.
Yes. And I have a school in Concord, New Hampshire that is working on organizing their own water walk. So, has nothing to do with me. We are not breathing over anybody's neck. We are not in control. We just want people who want to turn this into a movement so that everybody will appreciate the need and what it takes for us to be our neighbor's keeper.
It's a really good message.
Thank you.
I am really inspired. Thank you so much for sharing everything you do. What was your favorite book growing up?
Favorite book?
Yes.
Growing up, I read the Bible a lot.
You did?
I did.
It has some great stories.
Yes, I read the Bible a lot growing up. And I got to look at the Bible as a way of life. I don't quote the Bible a lot, like the scriptures. Mm-hmm. I make a very conscious effort to live the Bible, to let my life reflect what I read. Bible. I might not be able to quote verses for you and
That's
scriptures.
That's okay. A good book is supposed to make you think about it long after you're done and act on, the good things in it.
Exactly. That's what I do. That's what I try to do every day. And it has helped me.
What advice would you give young people who are who are in the same spot that you are, young and old, and you feel like something's missing, like you're not doing enough, like you want to do something to give back, how do you find that spot?
I'll tell them as much as possible, they should look for something that is beyond them and do it. They should look for something that is not for their personal gain and do it. Anything you're doing that is not for you, go ahead, do it. If it's sweeping the street, pro bono, go ahead. If that's what you're motivated to do it. But at the end of the day, just do something. Especially, be the answer to the next person's prayers. Somebody asks you to give them a glass of water. Don't tell them to go to the next person. Give them water. Somebody asks you for food. You're in a position to do it. Give them food. Somebody is in need. Especially if you know just that the person is not going to be able to pay you back. That's the kind of help you should offer. Not to somebody that can pay you back.
You're right. Well, we will keep an eye on what you're up to with the Thank You Project.
Thank you, Denise.
I'm really excited that you shared it with us. Thank you.
You're most welcome. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for this opportunity to talk about our project. This is my life. People ask me, Charles, when is it going to end? And my response is when I pass on. I want to be able to meet my maker, say, I delivered.
I think you're going to be able to do that, definitely.
Thank you, Denise.
Until next time, keep asking questions. Keep searching for those things that fill you up. And check out the Thank You Project. It may be just the thing you were looking for to do in your community. See you soon.